Alright, bro, let's get into this. Cool. What's happening, guys? Welcome to Jester Radio. Got a guest, someone that's not really my usual guest, which is good because I want to try broaden my horizons of the podcast. So, Rowan, bro, thank you very much for coming.
Sure, thank you for having me.
So, you are a professional boxer.
Yes.
Let me start by saying. So I was reading a quote before you came. I was just obviously doing my little bit of research on you, and one of the quote was, it says that you actually started when you were 16 because you felt you were maybe overweight or unhealthy.
Yeah, I actually started at 13 or 14. I went to an MMA gym first, but then I transitioned over to boxing at 15, 16. And like the main reason for me wanting to get into like the combat sports was actually just like a great reason to lose weight. I was quite a chubby kid. So yeah, and my parents didn't want me to go because they thought it would make me angry and stuff like that. But
most people do.
Yeah. So that was exactly how I got into it. And then the love just grew, eh?
Bro, that's awesome. And I think people need to understand that, like just as you did, maybe you had a problem. You thought, I don't enjoy the way I look. Yeah. Maybe not physically in terms of, I'm fat, but I want to be healthier. You weren't almost saying like, I don't look good enough in public eyes. You would say, I want to change myself. I want to be better. And the setting out of a challenge of initially the MMA and then the boxing, obviously put you through the motions of being able to push harder and work harder and become healthier. And in being healthier, you have now actually set out a career for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I think going back, it was more of a confidence thing. Like when I looked at myself, I was like a bit negative on myself and stuff like that. And I was searching for confidence, I think like with my brother influences, I have two older brothers. They also helped me. They're like, hey, let's go train and stuff. They were all doing like some form of combat sports, and they were really enjoying it. And it's a healthy, great lifestyle that I've just pursued, and I wouldn't want another lifestyle, eh? Yeah. I've really enjoyed this path.
And have you tried any other styles of training? Obviously, you started MMA, and then you changed from, mixed martial arts to maybe more of a boxing. And other than that, general gym training, general exercise?
Yeah, I've done a lot of gym training, when you're in high school and stuff like that with your friends, getting ready for VAC and stuff like that. Of course, I did the odd gym stuff. But then also through like the more serious my boxing career's got, like the more serious my conditioning coaches have been on me and stuff. So I've done a whole bunch of training. Like you go through a strength phase, metabolic stage, you do metcon training, hypertrophy training, and all these fancy names, explosive training and stuff. So now my training is getting like pretty intense.
And what aspect of the training? So let's say obviously for boxing you need to do everything. What discipline within boxing, let's say running, strength training, or just sparring, like what's your favorite in terms of just training, in general training?
Yes, I love running, eh? This whole lockdown, since they've allowed running, I don't know what it is about running, but it's just like a therapeutic.
I think it's nice because you can just get inside your own mind and you can think and you can kind of reflect.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. Schmark running.
Yeah, no, running's cool. Also, as you say, lockdown came, gyms closed. How has that affected you in terms of, did you have any fights coming up before?
Yeah, so this lockdown was actually extremely mean to me. 2 weeks before lockdown kicked in, I was actually meant to be going to Germany for a world title fight.
Jeez.
And in boxing, like when you get a world title behind your name, things change. Like doors open. Like people were calling me from overseas, and I got sent like 6 pairs of boxing gloves and stuff from a guy from the UK. Like clothing sponsors and stuff like that were all giving me phone calls to let me know that they'll be watching this fight. Yeah, so once you get a world title, doors are open like you can't believe. So I was 2 weeks away, and then the lockdown kicked in, and that obviously cancelled everything. And then through lockdown and this whole COVID thing, they've tried to do boxing tournaments and stuff like that. I was scheduled to fight again in September, but now that's also cancelled. They're looking towards the end of the year, December.
And will that be the same match against the same opponent, or?
No, because of flight regulations, it's a different opponent.
So local, or?
Yeah, it will be a local fight, this new fight. They told me, because that fight in Germany is still going to go on, their fight date just got moved from March to mid-August, and there was a replacement fight. So the guy I was meant to fight, is fighting someone else now for the IBO title. It all has to do with rankings and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm ranked quite high in the world now. I'm 35th in the world, so I'm getting there.
And your division, for the people that don't know?
I'm super middleweight division, yeah.
And what weight roughly is that?
It's 76 kilos, but yeah, I walk around a little bit heavier than that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Generally, let's say, okay, let's go like maybe 5-6 weeks before a fight. What's your weight usually, and then obviously cutting down to the 76?
It's probably 5-6 weeks. I like to be 82 and lower. So if I'm lower than 82, I'm happy.
Yeah. And obviously, me doing like the bodyboarding side, we do similar things. Obviously, preparing ourselves to make weight. And obviously, you've done things like water manipulation, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's more difficult for you than a general bodyboarder because you have to go fight, whereas we can just chill backstage and then go onto stage. So how's it affected you having to cut water and manipulate your water and obviously be super restrictive with your calories right up until the fight?
Yeah. I've spoken to a few people who did like the fitness industry and stuff out of curiosity to see how they did it, and it is extremely similar, but with one catch: the way we rehydrate is extremely different. Like after weigh-in and stuff like that, we don't
weigh-ins the night before.
The day before, generally at 12 o'clock in the morning. And we don't eat food for 2 hours after. It's all like water, a whole bunch of like vitamins and stuff like that. You have to eat a pack of rice cakes and fruit salad. Try to put some honey on your fruit salad to align your stomach. Because at the end of the day, just to give it like a short summary, you want to perform at your optimal the next day.
Of course.
So the whole replenishing and stuff is insane. It's like a 3-hour process. Plus you still eat the same meals before a fight. Yeah.
How much, let's say the day before, Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, the day before fight, and then the next day you wake up, are you a lot heavier?
I wake up like 84, 85, and I weigh like 76.
And you're feeling strong, you're feeling powerful.
Yeah, it's quite insane.
Yeah, because I mean, on the bodyboarding side, I mean, obviously because we don't drink water up until after the show, so we cut out water on the Friday, and then up until maybe Saturday afternoon after the show, then when you're having your water. So I mean, bodybuilders, if you see them backstage, like, this guy's got no energy, they can't do anything. I mean, you go on stage for half an hour, then afterwards you are dead. So that's why things need to be different for you guys, because I mean, you literally you need your strength, you need every single bit of power you can, whereas we're just flexing on stage. So that's what I actually admire. So sorry for people that may not like this, but I prefer boxing. I prefer different sports to bodyboarding, because bodyboarding is difficult in terms of dieting, restrictive dieting. You have to be far stricter with your food. But in the terms of training, boxing is far more difficult training-wise than bodyboarding.
Yeah, I measure a lot. I go to like heart rate and stuff. I'll refer to Peter, my boxing coach, a few times here, and he's like, in my opinion, like the best coach in the world, one of them.
That's Smith, eh?
Yes, Peter Smith. He's the oldest brother. There's 2 Smith brothers, but it's like different camps, same names. Okay. It's a bit confusing. But Peter's all about monitoring the heart and stuff like that, and calories and everything. Yeah. And my most intense boxing session was like 2.5 hours, and I burnt like 2,200 calories.
You must have chowed after that, eh?
I was so hungry. The problem is with those long training sessions is just like your energy levels. Like the last 40 minutes, it's like, whoa.
Do you sometimes, obviously you take little breaks in between. So what do you like hydrate yourself with? Because obviously you need to replenish electrolytes and all that kind of stuff. Do you, like bodybuilders do like BCAs during training? Do you do like energy?
I have a BCA and electrolyte thing. It's a Cristiano Ronaldo CR7.
CR7, the Herbalife
yes,
one. Okay.
I really like that.
Yeah. And how is your diet? Let's just stick to on like close to fights. Let's say, as we were talking about 5 to 6 weeks out, you would be 82 kgs. What are you eating? How many calories? Because obviously you're monitoring the calories and all that.
So on average, 6 weeks out, I'm about 3,500 calories a day.
And how much are you expending?
3 times a week, it's over that.
Yeah.
So 3 times a week, it can be like 3,000 to 4,000 calorie burn, maybe 3,000.
That's burn, guys, not just at the end of the day.
It's pretty insane. I think I was listening to a friend, Ryan Gibbons, from cycling.
Yes,
you should try and get him on here, because what they burn is crazy. I thought I had it hard.
Yeah, those are like the Michael Phelps of the world, having to eat like 10,000 calories just to make up what they're burning.
He told me one race he burned 7,500 calories, and I was complaining about like 1 or 2 of my days. But then, so what Peter does is Monday, Wednesday, Friday depends on him. It could be skill training, could be footwork training and stuff. Then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, sparring 6 weeks before. You start sparring 6 weeks before. That's like a fake fight with training and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when you expend the most energy and calories and
How
stuff
long is a
that.
general sparring session?
So Peter likes 4-minute rounds, and then if we have a 12-round fight, we'll be sparring like 12 rounds.
Sure.
So it's 12 times 4
Yeah.
minutes in there, and it's like our level of competition is quite high. So like you're trying to like take the other person's head off to like put it into perspective.
And in terms of, so you say you train 12 rounds, but then in a fight, I mean, I've seen you haven't lost a fight in your professional career, huh?
Yeah, I'm 12-0.
12,
yeah.
okay, I was reading you 11-0, so obviously that's a bit outdated. That's very cool. So, and I mean, how many of those are knockouts?
I have, I think, 8 knockouts. I'm actually not sure. 7 knockouts.
And I mean, you've been, as I said, you were started professionally when you were 2016. You're in the professional circuit.
2016 December was my very first fight.
How was your very first professional fight?
I was so nervous, just going out there and having like a TV camera in front of you, like amateurs and boxing and stuff's cool, but then you don't realize actually when you're walking out, you're trying to dodge all these wires and the cameramen. There's one guy holding the wires, there's one guy holding the camera, there's people like shouting. I was super nervous. People joked with me afterwards. It looked like I was like white in the face and gonna throw up.
And obviously you say you're sparring at your practice rounds and your training sessions. So I mean you spar with Kevin often.
I've sparred with Kevin a few times, quite often.
Obviously he's a different category.
He's a different weight class. He's cruiserweight. He's a bigger man than I am. But Peter's philosophy is he will often put a smaller guy with a bigger guy. Because the bigger guy benefits from the speed. Generally, when someone's lighter than you, they're a lot faster. And when someone's heavier than you, they're generally more powerful. So it also improves your chin and stuff like that. So Kevin and I have worked a lot together. I also went to Azerbaijan with him when he had a world title fight. So I had to like do all the preparation and stuff with him.
That must be very cool. Obviously, how long has he been a pro for?
Wow, I think like 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure it's nice for you coming into the gym with an amazing coach, with an amazing partner that's also, doing so well. I'm sure that's obviously a lot of motivation for you, and a lot of drive for you comes from seeing how good your coach is and his stance and everything, and then also how he is with Kevin and how Kevin is with you.
Yeah, exactly. It helps. They say iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great